All right, so what's up, guys? I'm gonna be doing an actual video today. This is a no-nonsense guide on how to replace your brake booster on your 2001 Nissan Frontier. I have been looking online and multiple places to try to find the specific specs, to actually replace the brake booster. But I haven't been able to find any. Luckily, with that being said, it is actually very self-explanatory, so this is just going to be to help you guys out if you don't understand what you're doing. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right here, this giant black thing right here is what we're going to be replacing today, and it's actually very self-explanatory. You remove these two nuts right here, and then you go underneath. You should be able to see 4 bolts. If I can find it right here. There are 4 bolts holding in the slave cylinder on this side, and then if you look right here, there's also this thing that's being held on by a pin. You remove this from the pedal, which I'll show you guys. Remove these 4 nuts, and then after that you will be able to go ahead and pull this out. Then you will take this little bracket right here that connects the brake booster to the pedal. You will take that, put it onto the new brake booster, which is right here. If I can take it out, you're gonna put it on the back side right here, and essentially just put everything back in. And you also have to remove this hose right here. So just go ahead, get that clamp off and remove the hose. Now, if you don't know what this hose does, it's actually a vacuum hose. This is going to be compressing air, and it's going to help with the pedal feel. And that's going to help with the fluids going towards the brakes, etc., etc. But essentially, take off this vacuum hose, and then after that, remove these 2 nuts, and we will move this slave cylinder out of the way. So we just go ahead and pull this out without breaking anything, and we're gonna move it out of the way as best we can. So all right, so same thing on the other side. By the way, this is a 12mm socket, so that's what you're gonna need to use. For this side, you're possibly gonna have to use an extension because it is way up there. So I am gonna try my best to get those on camera. Let's see. All right, so I ended up just getting a smaller ratchet. And these deep sockets, there we go. Just go ahead, do that. That's one. Oh wow. All right. Let me go ahead and so that way you're not seeing the back of my head the entire time. Just do. I'll start recording once I actually get all the nuts off. All right. So as you can see, there are only 3 nuts. One of them went behind the carpet right here. Not really too worried about it because we do have replacements. But as you can see, like I said, there's this little bracket right here that connects to the pedal itself. If you push it right now, the brake booster will actually push out. So let's go ahead, undo the pin that's on this side, hammer this thing out, and then go ahead and reinstall the new one. All right, so here's that pin that I was talking about. Now we can, oh shit. Now we can just go ahead and just lightly tap on this thing and just pull this out. Yeah, we're gonna need to tap on it with something because it's stuck in there right now. So all right, so we are essentially halfway there now. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out. So all I did was just move this out of the way, and essentially we just pull this thing right out. So let me try to prop this up in a way that you'll be able to see it. And just go ahead and take this thing out. Alrighty. Yep, this is it. Oh, well, that's not good. That's not good at all. All right, so remember how I told you we basically put some parts, take some parts off of here, put it on there, it'll be good. Well, this does not come with basically like a rubber bushing. And, well, this one turned into paper. So I don't know. We'll do something. But essentially, we just got to take this thing off and put it on there and put this thing back together. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna prop this up somehow. And there we go. Oh, there's a nut that I need to get. All right. All right, just tighten that, make sure it's nice and snug. And then you're gonna orient it so that way you can put it back onto the pedal. Let's go ahead and take off these nuts right here. And let's go ahead and reinstall this portion. All right, hopefully that is stable. All right. So, like I said, we're just gonna orient this so that way we can put this back in and connect it to our pedal. I'll try to find a way to get this in there. Without breaking shit. Okay. All right. And we are essentially back where we started. All right, so the bracket holding it in and the actual and like where the holes are drilled in the frame are two different parts, right? So you have to line it up perfectly in order to get it in. And so the bottom is getting in, but the top is having a hard time. So we're gonna have to try to orient this again. Okay, here's where I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna cut to how I do this. All right, guys, so I did manage to finally get it back on. I do need to put the pin back on, but essentially I got the thing on. And boy, was that a pain. So here's what I had to do. I actually had to get a rubber mallet to actually assist in this. So remember that bracket I was telling you about? That bracket right there? Well, the lines or the holes were not lining up properly. Yeah, so I had to take a rubber mallet. Once I lined it up almost perfectly, I got a couple threads in on both the top and the bottom studs, and essentially just took the rubber mallet, started hitting it from the back, no pun intended, and then after that we got most of the threads almost all the way in, or at least like all four of them are in, but the two bottom ones might not be in all the way. So like I said, we're just gonna get this little clip back on, or this little pin back on, and then after that we'll go ahead and move on to the next thing we got to do. How much do you think it would cost for me to just be like, hey guys, so I got this thing like halfway installed. Is it all right if you guys like finish it for me? How much do you think that would cost? And then just be like, yeah, we'll just twist these nuts and you should be good. Oh, alrighty, so everything is nice and snug. So we're gonna move on to the outside. Oh man, like, I just want to take a break, but I want to get this video done. So around these areas, I'll show you. So right here we got 2 more studs. That's going to be where the master cylinder goes, and after that I think we're done. Oh, we got to put that hose back on as well, so we'll just do that. Just fit that on as tight as we possibly can. So this is the vacuum hose, like I mentioned earlier. This is going to be bolting down the brake fluid reservoir. So let's go ahead, get this going, and then we'll pretty much be done. Alrighty. Oh, fuck. I don't remember where this goes. Wait a minute. Oh, I know where this goes. This was supposed to go on the other thing. This was supposed to replace the other nut. You remember where that little bracket was to hold the pin in? That's where it was supposed to go. I didn't replace it, and it just disappeared. So we're not gonna even bother with it. Let's get this going. And you really do save hundreds of dollars doing this shit on your own. It's just a matter of, do you want to do it? And at this point I'm saying no, I really don't. So I'm just gonna tighten these up, get myself a 14 mil, and get the ratchet, and we'll be golden. Oh, my back. Make sure they're nice and tight. They're just snug. Don't have to use Hulk strength. Just make sure it's nice and snug. Alright. And at this point, we just test the brakes. So what essentially we should be getting is when we press up on the brakes, it should be stiff. Okay. So it is in fact stiff. So what we'll do is go ahead and turn on the truck. Yeah, you see how like it's really stiff? Like, let me take my thing off so I'll let the dogs breathe. Oh, let me. And oh my gosh, that fixed it so much. All right, so what we got to do now is basically go for a test drive, make sure that the brakes are working perfectly fine. So I'm just going to go down the street, come back, and you know, something you might want to do as well is just pick up a little bit of speed and brake a little bit harder. Make sure that the stopping power, just in case of emergencies, it will actually stop. All right guys, so I'm back inside after a treacherous 3 hours of doing this instead of it being the 1 hour like it was supposed to be. And well, you know what, I'm satisfied, and I'm glad that you guys can join me on this journey on fixing the brake booster on a 2001 Nissan Frontier. That is the 4-cylinder. That's why I had that much space inside to be able to take it apart real quick and put it right back through. Whereas not a lot of other people are so fortunate. Some people have to take other components off, whereas for me, I just had to move the brake reservoir out of the way, and I was able to get to that brake booster really easily. So with that being said, guys, I'm glad you joined me on this journey. Have a great day. Hope you learned something. God bless y'all. And yeah, love you.